My family moved to South Florida around 1909. My dad bought a lot in Gables on Hardy Road and built a house there in '53, and I live in that house today. So I grew up in Gables. As a kid, I used to ride the bus to the bus terminal, which is now Ruth Chris, and there was a Howard Johnson's in the corner of that, and I would sit there waiting for the bus to take me back home. I even remember to this day eating mocha chip ice cream, looking across the street, and I had a love affair with that building. I would watch the firemen hang up their hoses, and I said it was just a phenomenal building. The municipal building was an institution in Coral Gables, not just as a fire station, but it was a community center. From about 1993 to 94 is when I really started thinking about how we can transfer it from a city building that was in great disrepair to something the Coral Gables residents would be proud of. So one thing this city really needed, I thought, was its own institution of the Coral Gables Museum. And it wasn't just to store George Merrick's china or artifacts. It was more to be a statement on Coral Gables and its history and the built environment. The exterior of the building was really not touched. The city went ahead and took the second floor where they have their Department of Historical Preservation, and we were given the first floor where the old jails were and where now the community center is, and we then added on an addition of the fuel gallery, which was contributing to the historical structure. I was very fortunate to have a lot of great people along the way, and we met every week for 2 or 3 years deciding on the name. Do we call it the Coral Gables Museum? And there was a lot of planning and efforts that I get credit for a lot of this, but to be perfectly honest, there was so many more people involved in this that really made a difference that, it wouldn't be fair for me to sit here and say it was my idea and my creation, because it wasn't. It was a group of people that loved the city. So for the most part, we're a nice institution that's in its infancy. We're barely 20 years old from the time the concept was birthed, and we got a way to go yet. But for the most part, people enjoy it because I think people have a sort of hometown feeling that this belongs to them, and it should, because it is for the residents of Coral Gables.